afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Instruction. Because this is the Monday Novice Fights, we'll be having a look here at some novice players, some less than grand commanders. Here on Rails and Metals, Ski. We'll be having here in the southern half, SirJusse and Scheke, fighting for the Soviet Union for the glory of Comrade Stalin and the 25th Tank Corps, tasked with clearing this railhead held by the Germans under Sarmiak and CaptainCowhat. So fighting up on the 5th SS Panzer Division Viking, using this as a starting point for a fresh offensive as soon as the supplies do arrive, but so far we're having to deal with a Russian counterattack. Commanders, we've already got shock rifle and mechanized assault they've chosen already here. In fact, we've got assault gunners there from Sarmiak. Otherwise, we've got special operations, breakthrough and fortifications, Soviet industry, mechanized support and counterattack tactics there, with a mix of infantry, vehicle and armor bulletins there overall. And a very early mechanized regiment headquarters there from CaptainCowhat. A single Volkswagen squad, then the mechanized regiment. That's awfully early there, not really a lot of units as she's ground. But we're going to go assault gunners there rushing out, ensuring in that regard, as Sarmiak can get some assault troops close in and unpleasant there on the enemy, except he's not using them for that, it seems. Oh well. Otherwise, he should have been rushing them towards here. I suppose this is just usually where most of it's happening. We got CaptainCowhat there shifting Volkswagen towards this, Doom Pioneers in the centre, joining up there with the Grenadiers and assault. Overall, his movement pattern here seems odd. He's there, then there. I mean, what is he thinking? We got a maximum there, so that's a support weapon company up here from Scheke, whereas for SirJusse, we are special rifle command there with Strafniki aplenty, so Strafniki and Maxim so far seems to be the sort of general approach here. And this is definitely causing a bit of problems there. I think Russia assault gunners towards him might have had a better chance of something set. Now he's being held down over here by the Russians. Strafniki Maxim moving up left side, largely free though. That should give the Germans some free territory there, more or less. Assault gunners that really need to get close at that range. Their MP40s don't just quite cut it. The Strafniki and running on particular versus building assault or submachine guns, the engine that of course with assault gunners aren't really that effective. I mean, if you got the tech there for it and the assault grenades, it could in theory clear it up, but the thing is not that early in the game, so in that regard he's going to need a mortar here, and in that regard Sarmiak's assault is not really working out yet. What does he do? He persists. I mean, the troops are more or less suppressed, they're not doing well. I mean, there's no point in having them fighting there. There we go, find us retreat. We also see a bit of a type of flanking there, a bit more central. We also got Maxims covering there, and we've got two troops securing a point. That's not really much sensible there for CaptainCowhat either. More Doom Pioneer, which of course also begs the question, why go for this? Apparently just to refuel as much as possible, but at the same time it could have maybe gone for an early flak half attack or something like that. And it's got a scout car there for SirJusse. Two's pushing onwards here, Grenadiers suffering losses. Commies here rushing in aimlessly, straight into the Germans' concentrated fire. Looks like Scheke here's not paying attention. In fact, it's about to lose an entire unit just like that. Meaning he's now just got mortars and Maxims up. And more Strafniki there arriving for SirJusse. Nothing happening there for CaptainCowhat. Neither for Sarmiak, who's got two Grenadiers, one assault gun and MG42. The assault continues up here. The Russians are a bit more pushing forward, and there he goes, securing territory as well, keeping up the pressure there. One might imagine that again there's not really much of a reason there to just have them both stand around the same point. I'm sure if you want to cover it, but at the same time you use cover setup, Sarmiak to do something, don't just have them standing around there. It serves no purpose, only makes them easier targets for say explosive weapons and the likes. And again, without cover, I mean they're just exposed targets. That's overall a pretty bad approach there by CaptainCowhat. Remember, try and use cover and Deckung Männer. Maxim holding up, they got troops standing forwards. Not much happening here either. At all. Mines down there, that's not bad. In front of the buildings, I mean, it's not exactly a huge fortress that's really going to see much usage, to be honest. There's not really much point in mining the front door there. You need better off actually, I think, going around and harassing here, cutting off points behind enemy lines rather than, you know, mining and then pulling back, which is what he's doing at the moment. Flamethrower grip striking forwards. Assault going on here. Max in a bit of pretty bad position. Might get knocked out here. That could actually be a weapon there. Free for the Wehrmacht. Maybe not. Meanwhile, got troops launching a head-on assault here against an MD-42. Not really much of a spread there, which overall means it's not frightfully effective. In that case, of course, now they suppress the counter-resist. Either they jump in, quickly sweep in and clear them out, which they mostly do. Satchel charge there. Satchel charge is generally not something you want to sort of try and use versus infantry. They're much easier to dodge there. Meanwhile, the fighting continues up here. Puma on the way there for CaptainCowhat. Storm Pioneers should consider getting out there versus a 50 caliber and a flamethrower unit inside. Not going to work out. In this case, he's too slow, and the assault, I fear, is most likely going to be death. Meanwhile, more pressure. It looks like Scheke has added in a conscript squad. Most not frightfully impressive. Storm Pioneers there also need to retreat. In this regard, CaptainCowhat is basically trying to do too much at the same time, and he's basically losing units because of it. In fact, there we go, Storm Pioneer wiped out for no real reason. I mean, try not to get too greedy in terms of what you want to do. Take it slowly, step by step. Meanwhile, Puma going on. We got mine going down, but that's really going to be disrupted here. So the Puma opens up. Piotr went down. One more shot is needed there to get that thing, and God in Himmel, Bernhard, can you even hit? Apparently not. Ah, mine went off there. Thought the Puma actually managed to miss so bad it hit a mine down there. But there we go. Scout car wreck. Only one man made it out of there alive. Question is with the Puma hunted down. But there we go. We got a doctrinal choice there. We got mechanized support with guards. There we go. Mine went off. Actually killing quite a few there, surprisingly. Suppose I can always be wrong. There you go, rifle grenades, assault is moving forwards. We got the mortar here continuing to support. The veterans one, by the way, nicely done. Field gun on the way there for Scheke, clearly worried about enemy vehicles and probably also that Puma there. Die schwerer Panzerspähwagen. 234-2, which was later, well, basically stopped producing. They actually went on to put heavier armored cars with bigger guns, but on the other hand, no turrets. They basically sort of, well, I suppose very light assault guns in that regard. Either they'd be equipped with Pack 40s or cannons. So a little fun fact. There goes Strafnik assault here. Unit there should have been retreated, but wasted there. There's definitely some issues there with unit preservation on the Wehrmacht side, but I imagine also on the Soviet side, obviously. Grenades going off there. Puma getting off a few shots, but not really hitting. Bernhard there, clearly not the best. And we got a mechanized assault group there out from Sarmiak. Interesting, intriguing, fascinating. Rushing in and popping out the Panzer almost immediately. I mean, that rather begs the question, why bother with the group in the entire place, since that's rather expensive? I mean, he might have just teched up and gone for it instead. In fact, he is teched up, we just need to like to make a nice company. So there we got Panzer Gunner there, trying to fight this infantry, but overall, they're outgunned and outnumbered. And they're fighting at max range here versus units who perform better there. Rifle grenade there versus Strafnik, getting a few kills there. Troops advancing up here. 250 doing absolutely bugger all at the moment. Not sure again why they didn't bother with it. Just seems superfluous. And then we go anti-tank net there versus 250, damaging the engine. Germans seem intent of trying to hold the territory. There's no real focus on attempt sort of flanking about here in that regard. The German sort of pattern of attack, particularly from some at least initially, does seem a bit unimaginative compared to CaptainCowhat, who does seem to display some imagination. Not just hang straight on when he's sort of trying to sort of get towards the other sides. Got a grenade assault here. Oh, field gun moves straight into it and takes barely any damage. Something like in front of the Sturmpionierer and the Puma, which keeps missing. Bernhard. It is close to Germany. Covering a spread, those nice there again. Something to consider.
Mission accomplished.
Guardsman Strafniger there falling back from the Grenadier. Still no building up there. There might be because he's actually lacking pioneers, I now notice. Schwerpanzer quarters while they're going up here. That could supposed to be an orbital down there for CaptainCowhat, who's by the way now the only one who has yet to choose a doctrine. We've got no taking up here from the Russians. We've got a fuel catch up, that's good. We've got a tank battalion command out here for SirJusse, calling in a T-70. Two orbital down units on the way for CaptainCowhat. I suppose that's one way of escalating the fight.
This is what we're trained for. Support package received.
There you go, another assault. We've got mines again, you know, bit too much just, you know, select and move. Bit more spread out, and again trying to use cover as advancing might be good there. There's a Hibbler to support. We got a rifle there. Oh! Damn close there. And there we go. He just basically again sort of full select and just hit retreat on the entire unit. Oh, I mean, there wasn't really anything from the other Xikiam Pioneer on the full select sort of retreat. So in that regard, you know, CaptainCowhat here apparently a bit shaken. Or misclicking, who knows. Veteran 2 on the mortar. That's definitely going to help the Russians there. T-70 advances. No sign of armor so far here from Scheke, who is yet to take up. But good to see fuel caches. That's also something that Sarmiak could consider. That would certainly also benefit CaptainCowhat. Seems like here SirJusse is a bit worried about any anti-tank, but so far there's only really the Puma here for CaptainCowhat. Then again, that's also something that can threaten the T-70 seriously if well handled. There we go, shot connected. We got Guardsman wing in support. Strafniger advancing as well. Damage engineer on the Puma. Might want to keep the flanks there covered. Mortars forcing back the Volkswagen further. Left flank collapsing. Sarmiak's not really itching much. We got the lighter mega company up finally. Nothing happening beyond that. Volkswagen need to retreat. They'll likely be lost there on the retreat. Schwerpanzer Corps trying to support here. And can they make it? Run, Fritz! Run! You might be able to do it! Yeah! Whoa. That's rather brazen, advancing up that closer to the Schwerpanzer Corps, getting off a satchel charge, retreating. Down to half health. Looks like the T-70 actually went down here. Might have been he brought the attention there of the Schwerpanzer Corps with it, in which case that was probably. We've got Panzers flanking in, that causes a full retreat as well. They probably actually, those two Strafniger units could have dealt with the Panzer Grenadiers, but again, he just said to retreat. In this case, both sides do seem to be a bit quick to retreat in some cases for some reason. I mean, I suppose the opposite of bad unit preservation in some regards, but at the same time I think they are a bit too skittish at the same time. Panzers then moving to deal with the Guard Infantry, by the way, happy to leave these out of the way. They are forced away by a mix of assault grenadiers and Panzer Grenadier. The Germans are losing ground. Now we got breakthrough, and interesting enough, he does not go for the Sturmoffizier, which could have helped the orbital down. Another thing's getting more at him. He gets some Panzerfusilier. I mean, I can't think that might have been a bad choice. I think he should have gone for the Sturmoffizier because, again, he had a lot of infantry. I think they could benefit greatly from the presence of the Sturmoffizier. So that was definitely a bit of a miss. Mines going down. Meaning. Of course, question is what will CaptainCowhat go for next? A Panther would probably be a good choice. And then he could always follow up with a Sturmtiger. Got a T-70 now rhyming again, and we got a tank with a tank command up for Scheke as well, who's gotten himself a T-3476, so a bit more armor there being added so far. There's only a Puma for the Germans, but no real armor for them. Sarmiak has yet to take up. I suppose he could try Stug E. That's definitely going to struggle there with the T-3476 on the field. There you go, T-34 arrives. Assault grenadiers, by the way, could easily stand some rock closer there. I mean, they're sort of a range where, again, they do damage, but they can't quite do the full damage. We actually got breakthrough being utilised. That's great, actually. That allows them to quickly render point neutral. In this case, it's showing they won't get drained of more victory points. That's nice to see. Infantry again, spread out a bit, getting to cover all that. He's just having to stand about there. There's definitely some area there for improvement for CaptainCowhat in terms of management. Moving ahead there. Blobbing up. Yeah. Try to avoid that. Try to avoid in particular around tanks like the T-3406. Anything with the more high explosive capabilities. And also makes incendiary artillery, of course, easy to pop up. And even then, he doesn't, you know, try to move out of it sort of in a direct sort of more manner. In this case, actually ends up losing quite a few troops there. So in that regard, there's definitely some management issues for CaptainCowhat. Troops here need to get away. Unit preservation. Unit preservation. Scheiße, he's not even getting... Oh, there we go. But overall, the Russians are pushing back the Germans. Of course, the Germans are having some trouble there, sort of really getting anywhere. Too much blobbing from CaptainCowhat. Also, the Puma doing nothing. And from Samyak, it's basically just sort of more lack of using cover. And we're trying to attack from these a slightly different angle. We got a Sturmgeschütz there arriving. The Ausführung E. More shots fired. Doing up Maxim, firing up. We got the field gun here, getting a good hit there. He, by the way, should consider, I think, going for prioritized vehicles so it doesn't reveal itself to anything else but armor. In which case, he's better able to sort of use it for a surprise. But which only makes it worse here that Samyak drew overhead. He knew it was there, so why on earth did he drive in a Stugi there? And that's just rather pointless. More losses there for Samyak. CaptainCowhat not really seeing much. Stugi needs support from the Puma. CaptainCowhat doing nothing with his Puma to support his team with the T-34. Come on, Capto, there we go. Finally got that thing moving. Another T-34 there for Scheke. We got Mark Vehicle about to get this. I think Mark Vehicle there and the Stugi might have been overkill, but then again, maybe not. In this case, resulting in a loss, partly probably because he kept moving about. In some case, you know, but stand still to shoot. Aircraft crash, infantry moving forward here, clearing out the Pack 40. Good job there. And then he's moving in the assault Australian. I mean, again, there's some problems with unit preservation there to consider. On both sides. Stugi in dire need repairs. And it is moving forward despite being under heavy fighting, suppressed and pinned. We got a Stuka out here from CaptainCowhat, might be sufficient in dealing up with some more of these support weapons. In this case, nicely lined up, by the way. That could probably have been avoided a bit, but there we go. 12 kills, pretty damn good, including one crew completely wiped there. Definite victory there for Germany, but at the same time, that will delay any armor there from CaptainCowhat. It seems like at this stage, Samyak is playing doctrinal armor fully, which is then going to put all the pressure on CaptainCowhat. This is the Overcommando Vest, the one with the least fuel. In which case, that's definitely a bad idea. And if the Russians push properly, they can easily then fold together the Germans, if you will. But so far, seems like the Russians, of course, with a lack of infantry and other bits there, are having a harder time approaching as well and making, well, any kind of progress. Which is certainly a blessing there for the Germans. And of course, now they have to be more careful. Might want to get out of that building there with the Stukas having the ability to basically wipe that building in one go. Half track now rhyming here, by the way, for Scheke. Not sure what he wants with that. T-7 flanks in, unit wipe there. The Russians actually rather low on troops. And SirJusse, on the other hand, floating quite a bit, but on the other hand, the Germans are not really. Another incendiary barrage here again. CaptainCowhat has a nasty tendency towards blobbing, which again makes him easily strikes there. In this case, though, he got lucky, but overall, he needs to work on that. Seriously. Stugi, by the way, needs to be pulled back. Looks like Samyak's not paying attention. Is in this case wasting the Stugi. Also, clearly some management is needed there. Again, he's also trying to do too much, it would seem. Pack 40 up here. Horde assault here. In this case, I mean, there wasn't really a reason to pull back. I mean, he only made it easier for the flamethrowers to get hits on without getting any kills in. One unit forced back. Grenade going off there on the Strafniki, and nicely done there. Panzer Grenadier flanking in. Looks like a squat right there. We go, and a flamethrower dropped. Strafnigel there in trouble. Might want to grab it. Might want to grab it. Seize it for the glory of Deutschland. But no, apparently they're all ignoring it. We've got another artillery barrage going in there.
Steady yourself.
There you go, Panzerfusilier with a flamethrower. Guards are suppressed. No sign of armor there from CaptainCowhat, but then again. Also noting one thing here for the Russians, they got 3 munitions caches, but only 1 fuel cache. I can't help but feel that's sort of the wrong thing to have. And it's not like they have a lot of abilities here that are super dependent on munitions, or a lot of them. I mean, considering they both got something with heavy-end doctoral armor, you know, a fuel cache I think would be better. But there you go. Soon though, SirJusse can call in the ISU. Just a bit of fuel needed. Then the heavy assault gun can begin breaking in some fascist faces. Shock 2 is advancing in. Stukas was firing again as well. Another barrage. Getting off a few more kills. Building collapsed. Men inside it dead. Hardly a surprise. Not sure why SirJusse insists on sending his T-70 hit there on its own at this stage. And there we go. Wrecked even. Again, there's some issues there with unit preservation. We've got Sarmiak calling in a Tiger tank now. In this case, the Germans weren't too seriously threatened, which again could have happened. The Russians been a bit sharper on things, I think, but there we go. ISU now arriving as well. And it is time here for the mid-game analysis. Current situation is Russians with a slight territorial advantage on their hand in terms of sort of troop size. They have suffered rather heavy losses. They've got unit preservation issues. The Germans do as well, but the Germans don't quite seem to be making some of these silly mistakes there. Plus, the Stukas is helping them more here with Scheke's much more static approach, in particular since Scheke is not abandoning the buildings, making them easily wipe those units inside there. So there's definitely some problems there. But also, there's no real sort of attempt on flanking by the Russians, just brute force, which, despite everything, the German players mostly can handle. Even CaptainCowhat there, despite him resorting to blobbing. So, but there are definitely some issues there that sort of need to be handled up. But the Russians really need to consider again pressuring up here, trying to outflank, not starting to strike through the centre, also considering some movements here. Try to harass, try to spread out the Germans, then try to sort of strike out units here and there, instead of trying to strike in where the Germans are concentrated and that they're strongest. That's not really a very sensible approach, and if they do continue that, they might end up losing just because of that. Also, I do think all those munitions caches were a mistake. They should probably have 3 fuel caches, then a munitions cache. Something like that I think would have gotten a bit of sort of better. But idea and build more fuel to them overall. Scheke needs to save up there for the IS-2, I suppose. Some heavy armor that way might help. But otherwise, again, pressure up here, trying to get the fuel point there away from the Germans, knock out the Schwerpanzer headquarters as well, denying any possibility of a Panther from CaptainCowhat. That would certainly be quite to help there of the German or the Russians. We also got a battle group headquarters there, which also opens up for the King Tiger here for CaptainCowhat. That's also something you could consider that might work out. But otherwise, the Germans need to sort of again strike the flanks themselves, be a bit more energetic, and CaptainCowhat needs to spread out a bit more, blob less up. And for Sarmiak again, he needs to sort of pressure things out a bit more. But again, you know, try to sort of strike through here. I mean, these pretty much open ground, so proper assault there could do a lot of damage there to the Russians. So get a bit more energetic and a bit more creative when it comes to attacking. There's just a bit too much throw stuff at the other guys and see what sticks. Well, let's head back to the fight here. Mine going down there. ISU could, so I suppose, shift over to high explosive round to deal with infantry. There we go, the blob advances. I mean, if that switches over to high explosive time, it could easily do a lot of damage there to CaptainCowhat. In fact, he's just clumping up even more. I mean, right now, a good strike there from... No, I mean, note this way, he's just moving ahead like it's a tank. It's not. Does he even switch over to high explosive rounds? No, he doesn't. He does get some kills, but had there been high explosive rounds, he could have really done some serious damage there to CaptainCowhat, in particular, not just blindly marched in. So in that regard, that's a huge missed opportunity there for SirJusse to do some serious damage to the Germans, in particular again to CaptainCowhat, who really deserved to be punished for that one. Tiger there advancing, clearing up the T-34s. Switching back here to armor piercing, taking a lot of time there to switch back and forth, back and forth. But there we go. Tiger takes some damage. Units getting wiped out there. Mortar crew might get lost. Dangerous enough. Scheke did not retreat in the face of a Tiger tank. Not sure what he's thinking that. Incendiary rounds going down there. Puma doing nothing. And there we go. Tiger falling back here in the face of the ISU-152, the Schwero boy or Beast Killer. A KV-8 out here for Scheke, delaying any sort of heavy armor. Of course, it does help here with the infantry, but even then, he does not pursue. He drives the other way. Come on, Scheke, what are you thinking? You'll probably wipe a few squads and retreat. So right there, another sort of mistake there from the Russians. They're sort of basically missing every opportunity to sort of cripple the Germans. They see. It's not really good. And now we got CaptainCowhat there with the Panther on the way. I mean, they could easily attack here and knock it up, but it rather seems like the Russians, partly due to the loss they're suffering, but all just doesn't seem to have the sort of interest in it. In that regard, giving the Germans more time to rebuild and counterattack. So that's definitely not something that's, you know, very sensible. Back to explosive rounds there, but again, no real sense of advancing, you know, not say, oh hey, I got an ISU, let's try and hunt down some Pack 40 machine gun crews, all that things here, you know, completely exposed to an ISU heavy assault gun. Again, nothing's happening. Oh wait, there we go. Maybe something's happening. Maybe this will get a bit moving there. KV moving up here. 317 munitions there. 18, 19 there for SirJusse, but he's not really using it. Another incendiary barrage there on the Pack 40 this time around, maybe. Nice direct hit there. KV-8 with no support there, getting forced back by a Puma of all things. And a bombing strike as well on the Pack 40. Yeah, too much resource wastage there, which again brings up the question, why did he go for 3 munitions cartridges? Hardly efficient. First squad there wiped out. Not sure why CaptainCowhat insisted to take a point straight in front of the ISU. Again, there's a problem there of unit preservation, but also just perceiving, you know, what's right in front of them. I mean, CaptainCowhat clearly needs to pay better attention to what's going on in the battlefield. Also on there getting scorched. Panther joining up there with the Puma now. Might be able to get the KV-8. Aim shot there. Failed to penetrate. Not sure why I wasn't moving up the Puma first. ISU continues reign of terror here in the centre. Another unit wipe there again. Problems with the unit preservation. Know when you're not really going to achieve anything with the unit there, and just pull it back before you lose it. I mean, that's basically the gist of unit preservation. Try not to get your men killed. More mines up there, that's not bad. Preparing for an enemy armoured assault, but at the same time it's rather exposed to the front line there, so it might get spotted, rather ruining the surprise. CaptainCowhat back to doing very little, just passively sitting by mostly. Leading most of the work, if any, here to Saniac, who's not really doing much either. Then again, neither are the Russians sort of poking at each other at this point. Also, another mistake here for CaptainCowhat. What does he do? He runs up to shock troops within their range, well, their effective range. Not very sensible. Again, remember, troops with rifles should not be running up to troops with submachine guns. That's practically wishing to have your men killed. Panzer flanking, we've got an artillery strike going in then from Saniac, not bad. Compelling mass retreat, got a Stukas and Fuss there, but rather too late. I'm not even sure what he was thinking there, CaptainCowhat. Nor am I sure here what Scheke is doing. He's just moving in his T-34-06. it into where you ought to know there's a Panther and a Puma. There's no logic there.
Another vehicle has been lost in the defense of the Rodina.
And really a lot of bad decisions right in that engagement. Tiger moving ahead. Making a good priority then dealing with the field, in which case the rest of the units can follow up. The Panther and the Puma, much schnell. Not sure why he's sending in his KV-8 to do that. Another bombing strike.
Guards troops ready for action.
Trying to hit a unit that could easily dodge it. Not even use it on the infantry of all things. I shoot they're taking hits from the Tiger. Finally got the Puma and the Panther moving in. Finally, Tiger being forced back here. Field gun doing a bit of darkness. Note, folks, I'm again. Right flank is utterly open. What has Samiak done there? Absolutely nothing. He's not even sending in a single squad to harass. And there's definitely some strategic issues there on the German player side. In particular, Samiak seems very much suffering from a bit of a myopia. They're basically so utterly focused on a few things at this time. He basically sort of misses everything else. He's, by the way, still not checked up either. You can get another Tiger now.
100 points remaining.
But one would be hard pressed to describe his play as inspired. Incendiary barracks there forcing away troops. Nothing really happening here. Another Stuka strike. They're doing a bit of damage there for Germany, for Deutschland. Gaining veterans one, that's good. And finally, a bit of action here on the right flank. Something a bit more serious there. Almost took half an hour. Sure, it took them long enough. No attempt at clearing up the Schwerpanzer headquarters once more. The Russians basically go, yeah. Second Tiger they're mobilized for Germany, for Deutschland.
We are down to 75 points.
From an SS Schwerpanzer up Teilung, since the SS had their own heavy tank battalion. It's interesting enough, they never had their own heavy tank destroyer battalions. Hell, they didn't even have their own SS tank destroyer battalions, that were the more independent kind. So in that regard, you know, there were a lot of limitations in terms of equipment for the SS, and they rather, in those regards, had to rely on the army if they wanted sort of detachments of those. So, little fun fact there. Little fun fact there. Tiger moving ahead there. KV-8 burning at the infantry. Spreading out his infantry a bit though, that's good. For that, KV-8's going to get knocked out. Then again, so might the Tiger. Oh, we got a Tiger flanking. That's actually a bit creative there by Samiak. He's not just a tank from one angle. He's actually flanking. Good job. Good job. Another ISU there. Interesting enough, he's not even doing anything to pull back his ISU. Despite it ought to be clear it's going to be knocked out there. Another ISU is on the way, but that's definitely a bit of a loss there for the Russians. Now, in fact, it seems like they're being utterly crippled here. SirJusse has basically nothing left, and same here with Scheke. At this point, the Germans are largely dominant. We got Samiak there with almost full pop cap. CaptainCowhat same, and with 1,000 manpower being floated. SirJusse is also floating quite a bit of manpower. He could easily stand to call in some infantry or something else. ISU there, but it's on its own. There are some mines, but right now I think they could actually just get away with grabbing all of the armor here and rushing down the ISU. It looks like they're not going to bother with that, and another bombing strike, which really didn't achieve much either. The ISU, by the way, not being challenged whatsoever. Right here, he could easily flank with the Panther. At least he knows something, but it's not happening. CaptainCowhat is so incredibly passive. Oh, there we go. Finally, something's happening here. Does he flank though? No, he stops up right in front of the ISU, which again begs the question of why. And really poor approach there to handling a heavy assault gun there from CaptainCowhat. Xikiam Pioneer's getting burned up. And this point it certainly feels a bit like it's basically carrying CaptainCowhat at this stage of the fight. There we go. Garten is wiped out. Juice is not replacing him again. He really needs some more troops on the field to sort of hold the front line. Instead, right now, the Germans easily well pushed him back to the base, knock out the caches. But again, what are the Germans doing? They're sitting back as well. I mean, at this point, things really aren't adding up at all. And they've got plenty of opportunities again, the Germans, but they're doing nothing with it. Much too passive. Or I suppose lazy, if we're feeling less than charitable in one's assessment.
You have a use for this scum?
Never mind, they've got not a lot of victory points left, and they need to get them, which really only makes it more questionable what they're doing. Oh, finally getting a move, but again, it seems just to be a blow-up movement again without any vehicle support. And potentially straight into an ISU. Well done, CaptainCowhat. More guardsmen there running for SirJusse. CaptainCowhat, though, continues to float now. 1,300 manpower. I suppose he might be saying up for a King Tiger there. That could work. Though same exalting resource needs enough again. He's not building fuel caches, which could have helped. Breakthrough tactics being utilised again. That's not bad, though. No one's really moving to use it. Which rather begs the question why was it activated in the first place. Maxwell supporting, going for that victory point there, rendering neutral at the very least. As lightest infanterie should bombard the area. Engineers getting wiped. Guard moving up. And suppressed. And again, nothing's really happening again, despite both sides having, or both German players having a large army. They're doing not really much with it. I mean, they could easily overwhelm the Russians at this point. We actually got Scheke here going for a mechanized armor company. I wonder why. What he's planning with that. Another Panther on the way for CaptainCowhat. Looks like he's not bothering with a King Tiger. A missed opportunity, I would say. A missed opportunity. In fact, I'm thinking he had the resources for it at this point. So why even float that many resources? Bother with it. Just going to speed this up a bit. I mean, this is way too passive. And SirJusse now throwing in regular T-34s in the fight. Getting puncher-strike there a bit. Russian response seems to be sort of tightening up a bit.
We are losing a sector.
Tigers, Panthers, Pumas advancing a large armoured assault. We've even got Blitzkrieg going on here. Actual usage of Blitzkrieg. Certainly not, though, by, you know, CaptainCowhat, who could also have utilised it. Mine went off there, but the assault continues. A bit of a hammer blow there. And no real finesse there. Cerniak or CaptainCowhat. And in that regard, they probably end up suffering more damage than was necessary. Because, again, they basically just sort of resorted to crude force. Puma out of control, that was a bit of a waste there. But at the same time, the Russians are more or less crushed. And there we go, we got, I suppose, GG there from SirJusse. And there's not really much there for them to do. Again, the Germans still have a massive force. The Russians barely got anything. Even with that few victory points, it can't really pull it together. And for example, now is the first point he gets issued 5. So probably could have done with those earlier. That might have helped them quite a bit, but again took them ages. In that regard, Sheke's, you know, doctrinal choice did for example help get IS-2s. Breakthrough again. Bombing strikes and other fun things. Rapidly capturing territory. Trying to get that Tiger. Straight in front of 2 Tigers here. Go. I mean, there's pretty much nothing left there, and there we go. Game over. A loss there to the Soviet Union, a victory to Germany, although, I mean, not exactly the most sterling victory. A lot of equipment wasted there, a lot of men wasted. There were definite problems with unit preservation, but also a definite problem with initiative and just, you know, getting a move on. The Germans could easily end in this fight 10 to 20 minutes earlier. They had a bit of, you know, motion in their arses. Instead, there were several times they basically just hanging back. In particular, CaptainCowhat, who ends up floating almost 2,000 manpower by the end of the match. Way too passive, way too reliant on his teammate. He was largely here by, well, for the most part of the game, riding on Xikiam's coattails. I mean, there are some glimmers of, you know, cleverness in the beginning, you know, and, you know, nice breakthrough tactics, I suppose, but beyond that, there was really nothing. I mean, he called in 1 Panzerfusilier unit. There was no real Sturm officer or anything else being utilized from his doctrine at all. I mean, there were a lot of missed opportunities there by CaptainCowhat. A lot. He could have done a lot more in this fight, and they could have ended this much, much sooner. So definite issues there as well. For the Russians, there were strategic issues again. 3 munitions caches to 1 fuel cache, considering what doctrines they went. Not good. I mean, their doctrines were really not something that would benefit from 3 munitions caches, I mean. So they should have gone differently if they wanted to do that. Also, both Tango and Battalion Command, I think they would benefit again had 1 gone for ratio to 5s earlier. That would give them much more strength and threaten the German armour much, much sooner. But otherwise, you know, problems with unit preservation on both sides. You know, initiative attacking, you know, not just charging head on in. That was for both of them more or less it. There was very little flanking, very little manoeuvring. There's definite room for improvement there as well. And had the Russians displayed on that, they probably could have won this because against Xikiam, for example, relied too much of his doctrine. No fuel caches either, for example, support his teammate. There were a lot of things again that could have been done so much better. But overall, that's what the Monday Novice fights are about. Things that could have been done so much better. But there were really a lot of issues there, I think, in many regards. And again, for CaptainCowhat, it's very much just relying too much on his teammate to do all the work there. He definitely needs to get more into the fighting. Xikiam, at the same time, was also rather withholding. But again, you know, slightly more. But again, too reliant on doctrine. And for SirJusse and such, again, there were some definite strategic issues there as well. But again, you know, major theme, unit preservation, doing anything. So anyways, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this Monday Novice fight. If you did, you know, consider subscribing, tell your friends, sharing with everyone. If not, you know, send a replay and provide some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers, and thank you all for watching, and see you all tomorrow. Bye.